What's up, mighty boys and girls, it's your Ranger Boy here, and let's talk about this one. No joke, but as soon as the image of Rico was revealed, many fans were speculating whether or not the new female lead has any sort of connection to Ash. And after taking a closer look, many people in the community have the theory that Rico might be the daughter of Ash and Serena? No, I'm actually serious here. This is not a more ship along talking to you. But this is really a popular theory that is going around on social media. It even got so popular that my brother, who is the purest definition of an anime-poker casual fan, sent me a viral TikTok about this theory, and he really wanted to know my opinion on that. So basically, thanks to him and every other person who commented about the Ash's daughter theory, let's talk about this theory. In today's video, I want to talk with you guys about the Rico daughter theory, why it even exists in the first place, and why it could benefit the future of the anime? So if you want to know more, then grab some popcorn, grab some cookies, and let's do this. Of course, now we have to clear the question of why does this theory even exist in the first place? And you can basically answer the question by pure observation. If you take a closer look at the character design of Rico, there are surely things that stand out as a reasonable argument of why Rico could have any sort of relation to Ash. The hairpin she wears is the exact same logo that Ash had on his head when he first started his journey, during the beginning of his Kanto days. Next up is that Rico's necklace is indeed a Thunderstone, which could be the same Thunderstone Ash received after his first match against Lieutenant Surge and Raichu, and which he kept for many years. Last but not least, she also does have spiky hair sticking out of her head, which in terms of design is something you could call an Ash Ketchum trademark, alongside the lightning birthmarks under his eyes. I know what some of you guys might already say, that both the hairpin and the Thunderstone are just references or an homage to Ash, and that they don't mean anything. And you know, that statement might be true, but you can also see those elements as an argument that speaks for a connection between Ash and Rico, and that Rico just wants to continue the spirit of her quote-unquote dad. Now with the daddy talk out of the way, let's talk about the mommy, or mommies? Because this Rico daughter theory doesn't only include Serena, but also Dawn. Wait a minute long. We do understand why you exclude the likes of Misty, Iris and Lily, because genetics and design wise, it wouldn't really make sense for them to be Rico's mom. But what about May? She does have blue eyes. Sadly, in regards of May, there are some things that go against her. Firstly, besides that little cameo appearance with Serena, May never really had a legit return in Journeys, which is important because fans, and especially the younger fans, want to see some sort of interaction between a female protagonist and Ash, so that in the end there is a justification of to why those two got together, married, and in the end had the potential child called Rico. Of course, they had some great interactions in the past, but there also lies another problem: the past. In a way, it sometimes felt like that from a romantic point of view, she was a bit more attracted to Drew rather than Ash. Furthermore, the past interactions between May and Ash is so long ago that on the one hand we have older fans who do remember the chemistry between the two, but on the other hand we have younger fans, much younger fans, who don't even know who May is, and sometimes can't be bothered to watch back Advanced Generation. And with the decision for Rico to be not only the daughter but also the successor of Ash, you have to give Ash a future wife that can be accepted by both sides. And in my opinion, as much as I like May personally, I don't really think that she has the favor of the younger fans on her side, especially also thanks to Journeys. With May out of the way, let's tackle the topic of Dawn, and there are a lot of things that speak for her. Blue eyes, just like Rico, and most importantly, blue hair, which Rico also does seem to have on the inside of her hairstyle. And unlike May, she did return in Journeys, more often than we actually wanted her to, and she did have some interactions with Ash, even though it was very minuscule. Also, it really helps that Dawn belongs to an anime generation that is widely regarded as one of, if not the greatest of all time, in Diamond and Pearl. Therefore, it's easier for both older and newer fans to accept both Rico as an offspring of Dawn, thanks to both Diamond and Pearl and Dawn herself being very popular, even till this very day. But what exactly speaks against Dawn? Sadly, one of the major reasons that also hindered May, aka Pokemon Journeys. Remember a few seconds ago where I stated that Rico has blue eyes and blue hair just like Dawn? That statement would be accurate if it was Diamond and Pearl Dawn, but Pokemon Journeys decided to change both the hair color and the color of her eyes from a very identifiable and expressive blue to a more blue-grayish kind of color. And I know what some of you guys are thinking right now. Long, you're just imagining things. Oh really? Then have a look at Bulbapedia and go to the anime Dawn section. Even Bulbapedia, aka a very reliable source of information in terms of the Pokemon franchise, even they recognize that there was a change in hair and eye color going on. And of course, we all know why they did that. To make Anime Dawn resemble her game counterpart so that they can use an iconic character like Dawn as a merchandise tool for the chaotic disaster that is now known as BDSP. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that because of this change a future Ash and Dawn relationship isn't possible, but if you look at how much Journeys has changed Dawn and how Riko is supposed to be the daughter of both Ash and his future wife, it doesn't make it impossible, just a little bit more unlikely in my opinion. So with the two possible candidates for the role of Riko's future mama discussed, now let me tell you why the last candidate, aka Serena, seems to be the most likely potential future parent of the next main lead of the Pokemon anime. I mean, let's be honest here, just goddamn, the striking resemblance between Riko and Serena is honestly really scary. Some people might argue that the change in art style could be a major influence, but I would think that the next designs of the 2023 anime aren't really that different from the current style of Journeys. I would even assume that it's almost identical. First, let's look at Serena's art style in Journeys and let's compare it to Riko. The closest thing I have found which resembles the pose of Riko in the promo poster is the end scene of Serena standing at the bay, and once again, I really was surprised how much the new main protagonist resembles the Kalos Queen. And even if we compare it with other situations, like I'm showing right now, the similarities are really striking. So just in terms of genetics, a lot speak for Serena, but also everything else, just like Dawn before, could lead to a potential family of Ash and Serena. Serena also returned in Journeys. Serena is already super popular, and some might argue even more popular than even Dawn. She is known by both older and younger fans thanks to XY being on the same level of popularity as Diamond and Pearl, and it does also help that Amor shipping is a very popular shipping within the community as well. And many people, of course not all, loved seeing Ash and Serena interact with each other. And since Serena showed some more obvious affections towards our forever 10-year-old boy, the prospect of them getting married is a little bit more likely compared to the other two options. All of that, just like in the case with Dawn, could make it easier for the community to accept Riko as the new main character. Now would be the time for me to find an argument that would go against Serena being Riko's mom, but to be honest, as of right now, it's kinda hard to find a reason that speaks against that. Maybe you guys have an argument, so just leave one in the comments. Last but not least, we have to talk about why Riko being Ash's daughter is actually good for the future of the Pokemon anime franchise. I will make this as short and sweet as possible. If Riko indeed is Ash's daughter, that would be all in all a good thing, even disregarding who the mother actually is. Because Ash having a daughter would indicate one of the most requested things that any Poke fans always wanted to see, a time skip, and therefore Ash Ketchum finally aging. For decades now, people wanted nothing more but for Ash to finally age beyond the age of 10, and they want him to be more mature in both looks and mindset. The existence of Riko as a potential Ash offspring would easily justify an aging progress. And not only that, but it would make his World Championship status even more believable, because even though Ash won the Alola League back in the days, he never really had the same aura and feeling as the likes of Cynthia or other champions, and the sole reason for that is that he was still a kid, while all the other champions, with the exception of Iris, were all adults. But even someone like Iris had a more mature vibe to her, thanks to the change in her appearance, which just proves my overall point that changing Ash's appearance to a more mature and more serious version would enhance himself and his world champion title. Last but not least, the other reason that speaks for Riko being Ash's daughter as a benefit is that, like I mentioned before numerous times, if she was the natural successor to Ash, then it would make it easier for people to accept her as the new main lead of the franchise. But what is even more important than that is that I think it would make it easier for a lot of people to finally move on from Ash. As of right now, I saw so many comments within the fanbase that don't even want to give Riko a chance, and that they stubbornly want to hold on to Ash even though logically he can't do much anymore. Sure, he can still chase his vague dream of being a Pokemon master, and with that goal in mind, his journey could potentially be endless. But the more you stretch out Ash's story, the more stale it gets, and therefore less people will be interested in Ash's overall adventure. So using Riko as a successor of Ash would make for a fresh coat of paint, while also being familiar thanks to her connection to Ash. But hey, at the end of the day, nothing is confirmed, absolutely nothing, and this is all just a fun little theory within the community. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this little discussion slash theory video. What's your opinion? Tell me. And just like always, see you guys in the comments down below.